He would like obsess over watching these videos. He imitated everything Jordan did. If you watch Kobe's interviews, like the way he talks, the way he moves his mouth, when he licks his lip, when he puts his tongue out when he played, everything was about Michael Jordan, and that's the player that meant everything to him, and he wanted to be great. Not good, but great, like Michael Jordan.
When people say arrogant and aloof, that's not what you remember about him. I know it's so interesting to people that know him. There is arrogance.
Absolutely, but the arrogance is not in everyday life. The arrogance is in the world of basketball.
On the basketball court, you're saying?
On the basketball court, no. You're not my friend, and I'm not your friend. And it's either kill or be killed. I'm going to attack you. I'm going for the jugular at all times.
What does Kobe's death, what does his loss mean to women's basketball?
You know, he was really making change.
Was he?
Yes, he's changing the mindsets of other men more than anybody else. He's giving us, he's validating us, if you will, these young ladies who are out there playing, the fact that he's enjoying and being entertained by great basketball. It made other men feel, I'm hoping, like, what is this about? Like, this is, it's good.
I've heard that sometimes he would spend more time at WNBA games now than he would at the Lakers games. True?
Well, it's true, but I think it's also because Gigi wanted to see certain players, and she was into it, and he talked about just, you know, I remember seeing him, he was like, Lise, she got it. She got it. You know, he was just like, she got it.
Lisa Leslie didn't just play basketball. She redefined what was possible in the sport, and now the city of Los Angeles is making sure nobody ever forgets that. The Los Angeles Sparks have officially announced that a statue of Leslie will be unveiled outside Crypto.com Arena on September 20th, right before the Sparks take on the Portland squad. And this isn't just a nice gesture. This is Los Angeles cementing one of its greatest athletes in history, literally and permanently, in bronze, standing alongside Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Wayne Gretzky, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Let that sink in for a second. A woman who grew up in Gardena, California, went on to dominate at USC, then carried an entire franchise and helped launch a whole professional league into the cultural conversation, is now going to stand forever outside one of the most iconic arenas in the world. And honestly, if you know Lisa Leslie's story from the very beginning, you know this moment has been a long time coming. Let's go back to 1990. A high school girl named Lisa Leslie, playing for Morningside High School in Inglewood, walked onto a court and scored 101 points in the first half alone. Not in the game. In the first half, the opposing coach pulled his team off the court at halftime because they didn't want to be embarrassed any further. That game never finished, but that moment told everyone watching exactly who Lisa Leslie was going to become. She took that same dominance to USC, where she became one of the most decorated players in the program's history. Then in 1997, everything changed. The WNBA held its very first draft, a landmark moment for women's professional basketball in America, and Lisa Leslie was selected 7th overall by the Los Angeles Sparks. She never left. 12 years. One city. One team. That kind of loyalty is almost unheard of in professional sports today, and it meant everything to the people of Los Angeles. What she did with those 12 years is what separates her from nearly everyone else who has ever put on a WNBA uniform. She became the engine behind back-to-back Sparks championships in 2001 and 2002, titles that put women's basketball on the map in a city that already had championship pedigree running through its veins. Magic Johnson, someone who has been around winners his entire life, said he has known Leslie for nearly 3 decades and believes she is absolutely deserving of this honor. He called her the driving force behind those championships, and when Magic Johnson talks about winning, you listen. But numbers and championships only tell part of the story. The other part, arguably the more important part, is what Lisa Leslie represented every single time she stepped onto that court. In 2002, during a game that will live in basketball history forever, Lisa Leslie became the first player in WNBA history to complete a dunk in a professional game. One moment. One play, and suddenly the conversation about women's basketball completely shifted. People who had never watched a WNBA game started paying attention. Highlight packages ran on ESPN. People were sharing the clip, talking about it, debating it. She didn't just throw down a dunk. She blew a door open that had been sealed shut for years, and she did it in the most Lisa Leslie way possible, by just going out and playing her game and letting the moment find her naturally. She went on to become the first player in league history to reach 3,000 career points. Then 4,000. Then 6,000. Every milestone, she was the first. Every record book in the WNBA has her fingerprints all over it. When she retired in 2009, she was the league's all-time leader in both points and rebounds. The following year, the Sparks retired her number 9 jersey, and she was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, a recognition that placed her permanently among the greatest players the sport has ever produced. And then there's the international stage. 4 Olympic Games. 4 gold medals with Team USA. While she was dominating the WNBA during the summer, she was also representing her country in Sydney, Athens, and beyond, winning gold every single time she stepped onto an Olympic court. She is one of the most decorated athletes in United States Olympic basketball history, full stop. Leslie herself said something when the statue was announced that perfectly captures what this moment means to her. She talked about being cemented in Los Angeles, the city that raised her, the city she gave everything to. She talked about being a role model forever, not just while she was playing, but permanently, in the way that only a statue can make something permanent. She quoted an old saying, that the wolf is only as strong as the pack, and thanked every coach, teammate, fan, and family member who walked alongside her throughout her journey. There is nothing performative about those words. That is someone who genuinely understands that greatness is never built alone. The statue will be created by Julie Rotblatt Amrani and Omri Amrani, the husband and wife sculptor team who are among the most respected sports sculptors working today. Their work has captured legends across professional sports, and now they will be responsible for capturing Lisa Leslie in a form that will stand in that plaza for generations. And when that statue goes up on September 20th, Leslie will also make another piece of history. She and Seattle Storm legend Sue Bird will become the only 2 WNBA players in the entire league's history to be honored with statues by their respective franchises. 2 players, 2 careers that completely transcended their sport. Both of them now immortalized in bronze because the cities they played in understood what they actually meant. Think about the young girl who will walk past that statue someday. Maybe she plays basketball. Maybe she has never watched a game in her life. But she will look up at Lisa Leslie standing outside Crypto.com Arena, surrounded by Magic and Kobe and Kareem and Gretzky and Shaq, and she will understand something fundamental and true. That greatness has no gender. That excellence demands recognition. That a girl from Gardena, California can grow up to become one of the most important athletes in the history of her sport, and that the city she loved will love her back in a way that lasts forever. That is what this statue means. It is not just a tribute to a basketball career. It is a statement about what Los Angeles values and who Los Angeles claims. And Los Angeles is claiming Lisa Leslie completely and permanently right where she belongs. The unveiling happens September 20th. The Sparks host Portland. And on that night, outside one of the most famous arenas in the world, a new statue will take its place in the plaza, and the legacy of Lisa Leslie will be written in bronze, standing tall in the city that made her, and in the sport she made greater simply by being in it.